I am looking ahead at this lunar month, which is the 12th moon for 2025. And I just want to say it's a tender time and it's a great time to be with your heart. So, I'm Elizabeth Russell. We're going to talk a little bit about the lunar tale for this month, which is from the new moon, November 19th, through the dark moon, December 18th of 2025. And the Sabian symbol that we are working with in this time is 29 degrees Scorpio. And that degree symbol is an indigenous woman pleading to the chief for the lives of her sons. This is a time to ask for mercy. This is a time to appeal to the better angels in our world and even in our adversaries or our perceived adversaries. So we're going to talk about this story. We're going to dive in a little bit to this month's lunar tale. But I feel like it's just important to remind you that in the world of Dream Fruit, we're kind of working inside a frame story that goes a little bit like this. The living earth has been imperiled, and our creative nature is rising up. And inside the world of Dream Fruit, we're all earthlings in training on a shared mission to return to radical belonging. And yeah, the language of earthling is actually very important. It's one way of reminding ourselves what we truly are. We are part of the great weave that is Earth, cosmos, the weave of breath moving through our bodies and through the world, the forests that are breathing with us and making our breath possible, our kin, the creature kin, the beyond human realms. And so this earthling language is one way of remembering what we actually are. And this notion of returning to our radical belonging is a way of sort of signaling to ourselves that there is a birthright state of belonging that we can each find our way incrementally toward. Believe me, we are modern humans in a Western civilization, and this is not small work. Remembering ourselves as connected to something greater is actually the work of our time. And we work with story and imagination and symbol inside the lunar tales for earthlings, and we do that because story is a very powerful technology of consciousness, and it is a very effective way of supporting us in returning to, yeah, to our earthling state. But for now, let's just begin considering the moon mind. We're going to pivot, and as I mentioned, we're working with story. And so we want to just make that non-linear mode of consciousness available. And so it's a softening of the mind. We're not trying to make everything make perfect sense in a step-by-step way. Instead, we're allowing images to kind of flow and story to sort of tell itself, and where you resonate with the story will become quite personal and it will become more relevant to you. And it is a collective story, so we are traveling together. It's not just you, it's not just me. We're all on the path attempting to remember what we actually are. Soft creatures, human creatures existing within and breathing with the circle of life. Okay, so gently, gently, we pivot to enter the dream of the mercy moon. And in the dream of the mercy moon, all the creatures of the two shores have assembled, and the bridge is complete. The mothers of the world stream across the divide, beseeching any with ears to hear. From beneath us, a voice quakes up through the earth, rumbling deep to open the ferryman's deaf ear. Where is the heart that I placed within you? Buried in some forgotten cellar, she says. Here I am, mother of earth and sky. Return my heart to me. And are we lifted by her ferocity? And does the very air tremble with her voice? Yes. Say what must be said. Let the children live. Appeal to the better angels. Say what must be said. Let the children live. Appeal to the better angels. So, in this story, one of the things to remember is, and you can go back to last month's lunar tale to kind of pick up where we left off, but where we were was we were kind of crafting a bridge across this river. And the reason we were having to craft the bridge, and we were doing it in collaboration with the water trees that extended their roots. And so we were learning how to weave roots together and form this bridge between worlds, between people. But we were doing this because the ferryman didn't want to give us a ride, was not willing to honor our request for passage. And so we had to find another way, a way where there seemed no way. So, yeah, this is definitely a time that we are seeking to span a pretty big divide. And how wonderful that the water trees were willing to help us do that, even when a ferryman wasn't willing to do it. And so, yeah, sometimes we encounter very stubborn, very resistant, very unhelpful people who are in a position to help, and yet they refuse. And so we find our way. And in the story, once that bridge is complete, all of the creatures of the two shores on either side of this river have assembled, and the mothers of the world stream across the divide, beseeching any with ears to hear. And from beneath us, a voice quakes up through the earth, rumbling deep to open even the ferryman's deaf ear. And she says, where is the heart that I placed within you? Have you put it in some forgotten cellar? Hear me now. Here I am, mother of earth and sky. Return my heart to me. And we are all lifted by her ferocity. And the very air trembles with her voice. Yes, say what must be said. Let the children live. So, mercy. Mercy. And I want to just share with you, here's this beautiful image by artist Beth Lorio of this. You can tell this is my messy personal copy, but of this month's Sabian symbol, an indigenous woman pleading to the chief for the lives of her sons. And I think it's just really helpful to remember that when we need a boon from somebody who appears to have the power, the position, the leverage, that asking doesn't have to be passive. We can ask with ferocity. The mothers of the world are streaming across this divide. They are seeking any with ears to hear. And their voices are met by this deep, ancient voice of the great mother, mother of earth and sky. And she says, where is my heart? The heart that I placed within you. Have you forgotten? Give it back, she says. Give it back. Well, you know, or make better use of it. Go find it. Yeah. It's like, what in this story, in this vignette, the dream of the Mercy Moon, resonates for you? Is it the mothers streaming across the bridge? Is it the creatures who've gathered on both shores with excitement and eagerness as the bridge completes itself? Is it the deaf ferryman who, even with his willful closed ear, cannot avoid hearing the rumbling, deep voice of the Mother of Earth and Sky? Is it the very air trembling as it hears and carries her voice? Say what must be said. Let the children live. So, a few other things from this month. This is the time to chant the names of the Great Mother, to invoke a powerful force of compassion into the world. We might be surprised by the humanity in our perceived adversaries. This is a time to be willing. We don't have to be timid in our request. We are seeking mercy and we are appealing to the better angels. And it's nice to consider the possibility that our pleas might be met with a tender humanity. Simultaneously, it's worth seeing power dynamics for what they are and choosing our battles. We want to become champions for those with less voice, to step forward on behalf of the redwoods, of our elder kin, our more than human world, the coral, the turtles. We want to step forward on behalf of those displaced by global changes, whether they're political or climate or. This is the time to step forward on behalf of life and choose those battles with care. We don't throw ourselves at the feet of somebody who looks like they have the leverage or the money or the status that's needed to get where we want to go. We instead step forward with dignity and with intelligent choice, with choicefulness, discernment. We choose our battles because we understand that there are power dynamics in play. But we step forward on behalf of those with the smallest voices in this world, in this time. And so, yeah, it is a time of intercession. It's a time where the heart of Gaia transmits her voice into the heart of justice. So, the suggestion, the journal prompt for this month is there a way that your humility can bring a positive result? Is there a way that your humility can bring a positive result? And again, humility and dignity don't have to be one or the other. You can be dignified and humble at the same time. It doesn't take your integrity away from you to ask for something so deep, so needed as compassion. So it's a good time to, just be honest. Try not to play too many games with what you're up to. Bring your most clear self and, revisit the past as you need to with compassion, with care, with an eye toward justice, appealing to the better angels. Okay, well, thank you so much for taking time with me today in this month's lunar tale for Earthlings in the world of dream fruit. And just to mention, if you are curious, the answer is yes. There is a new set of stories, Lunar Tales for 2026, for all of the Earthlings who are ready to turn the page and enter a new chapter. The 2026 stories are going to do that. You can get this new copy on my website. And it does play very well with the Dream Fruit Journal Magic for Earthlings, which is a guided moon book, undated. And really, together or apart, these are wonderful ways to play. Really, we're looking for pathways that help us connect to the larger stories that are alive around us so that we can remember it's not just the big loud story that we're being fed day by day by day, but there's actually a deeper, more intelligent story that we can connect into, tap into with our imagination, with one another, and with the larger circle of the world. So, yeah, the moon is doing us a favor with her cycles and bringing these new themes, moon by moon by moon. So, the more we can entrain with that natural flow of time, the more ourselves we become. We are earthlings. We were born into a world that does have lunar cycles, that does have seasonal cycles of light and dark, and daily cycles of light and dark. Your human creature body is very aware of these other stories that are in play. And so, what Dream Fruit is seeking to do is bring them more into your consciousness so that you can play with them with more intention. Okay, thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to seeing you with our next lunar tale. Take care.